us for the County Tipperary Senior Hurling Final between Loughmore Castleiney and Borris-Ileigh. Cloudy, overcast day. It was raining, misting here all morning, but now it has cleared off. The ground is a bit greasy and conditions aren't too bad for hurling. Just the minor match there, Cashel have beaten Roscrea 2-11 to 3-6. No late changes as we hear yet on either teams. The conditions, I suppose, would suit Loughmore more than Borris-Ileigh. They're praying for rain all the week, and now they have got it, but it's not raining at the moment. So maybe that's a plus for Borris-Ileigh. We're just waiting for the teams to come out. They'll be out here in just a second. There's a fine crowd here in Semple Stadium, Thurles, for a match that we hope will be full of excitement, full of drama, full of incident. And now we're just waiting for the teams to come out.
Come on now, lads, let's go. Go away. Take one with the subs. Well, hold on, lads. Hold on, we get a couple of one, lads. Go away. One with the subs.
Subs, lads. Come on, come on. Nobody holding this up, lads.
Hold it. 1 minute. Go ahead, subs. Quick. Come on now, lads. Come on. Get out your top shot.
Stand at the back. Head up. Head up. Come on.
Oh, you're in a fight. Come on. Hold on, lads. Come on. Hold, lads. Lads, one more. Come on, lads. Lads, straight up. These are messing.
We had this game 1.5 times. We played tremendous hurling.
Loughmore team. I think they're copying Galway. Jackie is in there. I don't see him throwing the ball around. He's getting his men going, getting them excited. I don't know whether they want to get too excited, but he's lifting them up anyway. They have a good chance today. I think the match is a 50-51. On the conditions, anyone can win today. Tom McGrath on John McGrath. Referee Willie Barrett throws in the ball and the game is on. John McGrath, first to break away. He misses it, he gets it again, low along the ground. It goes to Philip Kenny and Jim Maher. Timmy Stapleton, and it comes to number 10, Liam Cormack. Out there to John Cormack, he's 40 yards out, he's fouled there, and it's a free into Loughmore, the first free of the game, just after about 20 seconds of play. This one to be taken by right half-back Pat McGrath. Loughmore, of course, very dangerous when they're moving forward. Pat steadies himself. The first chance for Loughmore. Sends it high and sends it over the bar. That's the first score of the game. A point by Pat McGrath. Nolan Maher taking his time with the puck out. Sends a high one, it's blocked there. Goes to Philip Kenny. Philip chased by. The ball over between Pat McGrath and John McGrath. Ball's on the ground, John McGrath gets it. He's beaten there by Pat McGrath. Pat left-handed, he sends it over to the far side. Where it goes to number 13, Michael McGrath. Michael sends it in towards the goal. John McGrath. Timmy Stapleton gets it out. Out here to Richard Stakelum. Richard seemed to be fouled there. Brian Kenny comes out of the ball, sends it out to this side of the field. Out comes Conor Stakelum for it. Ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Loughmore. This to be taken by the captain, Eamon Sweeney. Eamon about 60 yards out from the Borris-Ileigh goals. Gets it high in towards Timmy Stapleton and John Tracy. Michael Ryan gets it out over the line. It's a line ball to Loughmore. Loughmore doing the early pressing. As Tom McGrath comes out to take this one. About 22 yards out from the Borris-Ileigh goals. Sends it out. It's blocked down by Timmy Stapleton. It goes near the end line. Kicked out there by... It's on the ground there. Brian Kenny is there. The ball comes out to Tom McGrath. Tom McGrath 21 yards out. He sends it high, but it goes to the right and wide. Lively start there from Loughmore. Nolan Maher with the puck out down the far side of the field. It goes between Jim Maher and Philip Kenny. Flowery Ryan there. Jerry Stapleton, he lets it over to this side, over to John McGrath. John lets it in low into the corner, in here to Aidan Ryan and Eamon Sweeney. Aidan Ryan gets it, he's 50, 60 yards out. Turns left-handed, he sends it high into Noel the wire. Noel has it 21 yards out, he's chased by Pat McGrath. Pass over, out 40 yards out. He pans it out to where Tom McGrath goes for it with Timmy Ryan. Bobby Ryan is there, Tom McGrath hits it. But no, the linesman seller went off for Bobby Ryan and it's a line ball to Loughmore. This to be taken by chief free taker, Pat McGrath. The line ball just on the halfway line. 3 minutes, 4 minutes gone in the first half. Timmy Ryan gets it along the ground. It comes between Ned Ryan and John McGrath. The pull on it. Ball breaks to Philip Kenny. Over here to Conor Stakelum. Borris-Ileigh opening it up a bit now. Ball comes down to this side. Eamon Sweeney has it. Himself and Aidan Ryan there. The ball comes out to Richard Stakelum. He pulls first time with Pat Tracy. Dickey gets it on the ground. Seamus Bowen gets it into the corner. John Tracy and Tim Stapleton. It breaks back to Timmy. Timmy gets it out to Bobby. Bobby is chased there by John McCormack. Bobby going the solar on. He's on the halfway line. He's still going. Not conditions to be solar running. Timmy Ryan gets it. Still on the halfway line. The ball comes in here to Eamon Sweeney and Aidan Ryan. Eamon Sweeney gets the better of this one. Goes into Jim Maher. Ball comes to Jerry Stapleton. Good open hurling this. Ball comes to Richard Stakelum. Takes his eye off of it for a minute. Dickey on the halfway line. He loses control there. He seemed to be pushed out over the line there. It's a line ball to Loughmore. Seemed to be foul there. Eamon Sweeney to take this line ball. Rugby style Eamon. Teeing it up for himself. Shaky start by some of the Borris-Ileigh players. Eamon gets a good cut in. Goes to Liam McGrath, or Liam Cormac. Liam Cormac sends it in, but Brian Kenny gets it out. He's hooked there by Seamus Bohan. Brian still has it. He gets it along the ground. It comes to number 11, John Cormac. He's fouled there by Richard Stakelum, and there's a free in to Loughmore. Pat McGrath comes all the way up from right half back to take this one about 40 yards out from the Borris-Ileigh goals. Steadies himself. Sends it to the left and it goes wide. First miss there by Pat McGrath. The only matter with the puck out. 5 minutes gone, just over 5 minutes gone. Ball comes to Philip Kenny, out on the halfway line. He's going up along the sides, chased by Eamon Sweeney. Philip is 30 yards out from the Loughmore goals. Ball out over the line, it's a line ball. Line ball to Loughmore. They play the ball a bit quicker in. They might have a better chance of getting a score, but maybe over-carrying it a small bit as Eamon Sweeney takes this line ball. Players a bit near the ball there as the referee blows his whistle to get him back. Eamon Sweeney gets it low, goes to Philip Kenny. Philip chased there by John McGrath, has the ball about 35 yards out. Chased there by his cousin Tom. John gets it in, he's on 13 metres out. Sends it across the goals, it goes to Noel the wire, but it goes wide and cut in across the goals there out to the 21-yard line. Maybe it'd have been better for John as he goes out. Got in well there. We have a puck out for Loughmore with the score. Loughmore 1 point, Borris-Ileigh no score. 7 minutes gone. Ball with Richard Stakelum here. Tom McGrath has it. Conor Stakelum is there. Ball is on the ground. Cash ball there. Linesman puts his hurley straight up. Referee asks the players to get back from the ball. Players seem to be very uncertain. Ned Ryan hit the ball there, hit the referee, so it's a throw in again. Timmy Ryan gets it along the ground. It goes in to where Peter Brennan comes out. Seamus Devaney is there. It's pulled on there by Eamon Sweeney over to the far side of the field. Number 10, Lee McCormick and Bobby Ryan will go for it. Lee McCormick gets the better of it. Send in there by Michael McGrath and Michael Ryan. Michael McGrath gets it up to Lee McCormick. Ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh. Pairs taking their time to get settled. Very uneasy there, a couple of them there in the first 5 minutes of this game. 8 minutes gone now as Bobby Ryan takes this line ball. A good cut into where Pat Cormac comes out. It's chased by Seamus Devaney. Ball into John McGrath. Conor Stakelum, 30 yards out. Flowery Ryan. The ball goes to Noel the wire. Noel chased by Pat McGrath and Tom McGrath. Ball comes out here to the centre of the field. Tom McGrath hits it up along the side. It goes between Michael McGrath and Michael Ryan. Michael McGrath gets the ball into the centre. John Tracy. The ball hit out by Timmy Stapleton. Down to this side of the field. John McGrath and Ned Ryan. John McGrath has the ball. He lets it go along the ground. Into Aidan Ryan. Aidan 30 yards out. He's on the solo run. He's going through. He's chased there by two Loughmore men, Jim Ryan and Eamon Brennan. The ball comes to Timmy Ryan. He lets it along the ground. All the way on Pat McCormick. The ball goes out to the far side, out to Jim Maher. Tom McGrath has the ball. He's going the solo run up to Lee McGrath. Loughmore now on the run. as Lee McGrath has the ball out and 35 yards out from the Borris-Ileigh goals. John Tracy pulls on it. Brian Kenny gets it out. Comes out here to Bobby Ryan. Bobby gets the ball up. Sends it into the centre of the field. Jim Maher and Philip Kenny go for it. Ball breaks into Flowery Ryan. He gets it into the corner in where Pat Cormack and Noel Dwyer. The ball is pulled in. Seamus Devaney gets it along the ground. Comes to Ned Ryan, chased by John McGrath. Ned is going on a solo run. Comes up to the centre of the field. Sends it into John Tracy, or Pat Tracy. He sends it along over toward there to Michael McGrath, but the ball is on the ground. Flowery Ryan, the ball is hit in by Ned Ryan into the corner where Michael McGrath goes for it. Ball into Michael Cormack. Michael Ryan cuts it out. Uncertainty there, Borris-Ileigh holding out well. Number 11, John Tracy gets the ball in. It goes to Nolly Maher. He sends it out to this side of the field where Ned Ryan and John McGrath goes for it. The ball breaks between them. Richard Stakelum has it. Richard sends a high one in towards the Loughmore goals. Out comes Seamus Devaney and Brennan. Peter Brennan has it. A tussle there with Seamus Devaney. He gets it back out. John Cormack. Ball out there to Pat Tracy. Gets it in. Michael Ryan gets it out. Jerry Stapleton gets it along the ground. It comes to Conor Stakelum. Borris-Ileigh keeping the ball moving. A referee letting play go on as Pat McGrath and Pat Cormack and Noel Dwyer go for this one. Pat McGrath loses his footing. The ball comes into Flowery Ryan. 50 yards out. He mishits it. Ball comes to Jim Maher and Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath gets it over to this side. But goes to John Cormack. Chased there by Timmy Ryan. He's fouled by Timmy Ryan and it's a free to Loughmore. There's a player injured over on the far side there. I think it's Michael McGrath for Loughmore. It's not Michael McGrath, no, I think it's Liam Cormack. Successful was one already as he takes this one. Comes there, Brian Kenny brings it out. Hit in there by Michael McGrath. Michael Ryan brings it out over the line. It's 70 for Loughmore. ...70 yards out from the Borris-Ileigh goals. Will he get his second point? He sends it high in towards the Borris goals, but it goes to the left. It goes wide again. Pat not having one of his better days at freeze. ...13 minutes gone. First half. Just over 13 minutes gone as the ball comes out to this side of the field. Jim Maher, John McGrath, Ned Ryan under it. Richard Stakelum blocks it down. Richard rises, it gets the ball high in towards the Loughmore goals. Aidan Ryan, Eamon Brennan. Aidan Ryan has it 30 yards out. Sends it over to Philip Kenny. Philip is going on a solo run. He's still going through. Sends it into Seamus Devaney. All the wire is there. Ball on the ground. Timmy Ryan has it 35 yards out. Oh, he's fouled there by Tom McGrath. There's a free in. Loughmore were very lucky there. Ball in from Philip Kenny into Seamus Devaney. And it could have gone anywhere there as Borris-Ileigh get a free for a foul by Tom McGrath and Timmy Ryan. Noel Dwyer comes out to take it. First chance of the day. This great duel here between Noel Dwyer and Pat McGrath. Will he level it up? Sends it high and sends it over the bar. There's the first score for Borris-Ileigh. After 14 minutes of the first half. Very low scoring game. The greasy conditions underground aren't suiting it as Frankie McGrath takes the puck out. Blocked by John McGrath. Goes through him. Jerry Stapleton hits the ball, but the ball is out over the line. It's the line ball to Loughmore. Both back lines dominating the game in this first quarter, first 15 minutes of the match as Eamon Sweeney prepares to take this line ball down in here under the stand. Sends a high one in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. John Tracy puts up his hand. It comes to Michael McGrath. The ball goes into Nolly Maher. Noel, calm and collected, sends the ball out to the centre of the field. Conor Stakelum gets it. He lets it go along the ground. Pulled on there by Philip Kenny into the corner where Seamus Devaney goes for it. Seamus followed by Peter Brennan. Ball goes to Noel the Wire. Noel the Wire and Pat McCormick. Ball is on the ground there. Noel the Wire still has it. Comes to hit out there by Jim Maher. Out into the centre of the field. Conor Stakelum chased by Pat Tracy. Comes out here to Aidan Ryan. Eamon with Eamon Brennan chasing him. Aidan slips on the surface. Ball hit out but intercepted there by Eamon Sweeney. Ball out over the line. It's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh. Poor pass there from Aidan. To Conor Stakelum. Pass misdirected. Resulted with Eamon Sweeney being forced to hit the ball out over the sideline. A line ball to Borris-Ileigh. Richard Stakelum, right half back. Steadies himself. Sends it high in towards the Loughmore goals. Out comes Frankie McGrath. Sends it back out to Richard Stakelum. Richard, 40 yards out. Sends it back in again. In towards Seamus Devaney. On the ground, the ball is on the ground there. It looked there as if Peter Brennan took the ball out over the line, but no, the umpire says the ball has gone wide. Frankie McGrath with the puck out. Down the centre. Back there is Richard Stakelum. Richard coming more and more into the game. The ball comes to number 10, Lee McCormick. It goes into 13, Michael McGrath. Michael, 35 yards out, sends it high, but it goes to the right and wide. Loughmore, after getting a good lot of chances here in the first half, maybe they'll regret him in the second half if they don't take him. Timmy Ryan pulls on the ball. Gets it in. Jim Maher goes back for it. Chased by Philip Kenny. Jim sends it over. Ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh. Is to be taken over there. Centre of the field by Bobby Ryan. Bobby, captain of the Borris-Ileigh team. Who's marking Liam McCormick. Bobby sends it low this time. Goes to Ned Ryan and John McGrath. Ned Ryan has it. He sends it up to where it goes to Lee McCormick, chased by Bobby Ryan. Loughmore sending an awful lot of passes astray. Richard Stakelum gets the ball into the corner again. Out comes Brennan. The ball goes to Aidan Ryan. Aidan going through. He sends the ball across the goals. It's blocked out there by Frankie McGrath. It's 65 for Borris-Ileigh to be taken by Jerry Stapleton. Aidan was in hard luck that he didn't get up that one. Maybe he would have a chance of a goal if he was able to get it up quicker. But now, 1 point each. 19 minutes gone. Noel the Wire out in the centre of the field with this free, trying to make it 2 points for Borris-Ileigh. Half went back from in, the ball goes out. Was out over the line and it's gone wide. It goes to the left there and went wide. Didn't seem to come up right for him. The game gone a little dead and the crowd are dead. Maybe it'll pick up. Frankie McGrath with the puck out. Timmy Ryan going for it. He lets it go along the ground. It goes into Noel the Wire. Noel with Pat Cormack on him. Noel sends it high and sends it over the bar. And there's the first score from play for Borris-Ileigh, scored by Noel the Wire. Noel turned his man well and then hit it without having to catch it in his hand the second time. Borris-Ileigh 2 points, Loughmore 1 point. Frankie McGrath with the puck out, comes to this side of the field. Borris-Ileigh dominating in centre field at the moment. John McGrath with this ball, sends it up to Philip Kenny. Philip, 60 yards out. Gets it low along the ground into the corners. Chased there by Aidan Ryan and Eamon Brennan. Aidan Ryan falls again. He sends it high in towards the Loughmore goals. Ball goes to the left and goes wide. Couple of missed chances there for Borris-Ileigh. Maybe they'd be better off to let him across the goals. Maybe someone will pick him up. Frankie McGrath with the puck out. Down to this side of the field. John McGrath goes up for it. And Richard Stakeland. Ball comes to Ned Ryan. Ned in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Nolly Maher comes out for it. A hopping ball there as Nolly is chased by two Loughmore men. Gets it out to this side of the field. Richard Stakeland goes for it. Richard steadies himself. Sends it up along the line here between Ned Ryan and John McGrath. Ball breaks. John McGrath pulls on it. It goes in towards the Loughmore goals. Peter Brennan gets it out to his brother Eamon. Ball comes to Aidan Ryan. Aidan Ryan seems to be a half foul there. The ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball. The umpire isn't able to make up his mind. I think it's a Loughmore ball. Eamon Brennan, brother of Peter Brennan's, sends the ball up where Conor Stakeland has it. 50 yards out, he sends it into Philip Kenny. Philip sends it to the left and wide. Flowery Ryan there was in a great position if you had to see him. Four wides for Borris-Ileigh, 4 wides for Loughmore. As the ball is pucked out comes down into Borris-Ileigh half-back line. Jerry Stapleton and Pat Tracy. The ball comes to Timmy Ryan. Timmy gets it into Bobby Ryan. The ball comes over to this side of the field. Out comes Eamon Brennan. He loses the ball. Passes it over to Peter Brennan. Chased there by Conor Stakeland. He comes down on the solo and the ball goes to Jim Ryan. It goes along the ground to Tom McGrath. Tom McGrath on the halfway line. He sends it in to where Michael McGrath comes out for the ball, pulled by Richard Stakeland, or by Timmy Stapleton. John Tracy has it. Timmy Stapleton recovers well. Timmy lets it go along the ground. Michael Ryan gets it, cuts it out to this side of the field where the ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Loughmore. Eamon Sweeney comes up to take this one again. .23 minutes gone in the first half as Eamon Sweeney takes this line ball in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Goes in there to number 13. Michael McGrath was hit out along the ground there. Comes to Ned Ryan. Ned not having a great again. John McGrath. Flowery Ryan gets it, but Tom McGrath has it again. Ball on the ground there. An awful lot of pulling, an awful lot of missing as the ball goes out to John McGrath. Ball out to Flowery Ryan. Lets it go along the ground to Noel the Wire. Noel chased by Pat McCormick. Noel 40 yards out. He's still going through. Ball into Seamus Devaney. Ball hit off his Hurley there. That was hard luck there for Seamus. A good tap on by Noel the Wire. Missed by Peter Brennan, and Seamus Devaney was very nearly in for Borris-Ileigh's first goal. Noel the Wire walking out to take this one, taking his time. Timmy Ryan passes him in. 24 minutes gone. Borris-Ileigh 2 points. Loughmore 1 point. Very low scoring game, it must be said. As though steadies himself over this one. Will he be successful this time? He's already missed one from this possession. And he misses the second one. That's 2 wides from placed balls. 2 points for Borris-Ileigh, 1 for Loughmore. Maybe a goal would get this game going. Seems to be dead enough. Ball hit out to the centre of the field. Tom McGrath puts up his hand for it. It's blocked by Timmy Ryan. Timmy playing well at centre field. Pat McGrath and Flowery Ryan go for it. The ball breaks. Clash between them as the umpire puts up his flag there. It's a throw in. Linesman over there on the far side collecting the ball. The tip ball goes in between Timmy Ryan and Tom McGrath. Timmy kicks it along the ground. Timmy seemed to be fouled there by Lee Maher, but it's a line ball to be taken by Pat McGrath for Loughmore. Pat on his own half-back line. The ball blocked by Jerry Stapleton. Comes to Pat McGrath, or Pat Tracy. Pat Tracy gets it over to this side to where Michael Ryan gets it out. Ball goes to John McGrath, chased by Ned Ryan. Ball into Pat Cormack and all the wire there. The ball out to Michael Tracy, or Michael Pat McGrath chased by Seamus Devaney. Ball hit out over the line by Bobby Ryan. It's a line ball to Loughmore. Tom McGrath takes this line ball in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. It's a high one. And that's a great score there from Loughmore by Tom McGrath. That was all of 60, 70 yards out from the Borris-Ileigh goals. Give him a bit of confidence there because they're not doing so well at centre field. Borris-Ileigh dominating it out there. It's no only matter with a puck out. Ball breaks to Timmy Ryan. Jim Maher has gone back there. Jim with the ball. Sends it left-handed over to this side of the field. Philip Kenny hit him down across the arm. So the referee, and it's a line, or it's a free to Loughmore, is to be taken by Pat McGrath. Pat about 50 yards. He's leaving it to Tom McGrath. Tom McGrath, who got the last great point from 60 yards out from the Borris-Ileigh goals. Steadies himself to take this one. Sends it high and sends it over the bar. Another great score there from Tom McGrath. All from 50 yards out from the Borris-Ileigh goal. His brother Pat wasn't going so well, so he decided to leave it to his brother Tom. Nolly Maher takes the puck out. Jim Maher has it, beginning to play well. Ball out along the ground. It goes to Jerry Stapleton. Ball out over the line. It's a line ball. A line ball to Loughmore. This to be taken again by Tom McGrath. Tom on the halfway line. Sends a good long one in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Out comes Timmy Stapleton. Over top, Michael McGrath is going through. The ball comes in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. There's a goal! A goal there by Liam McCown. A goal there for Loughmore. I think it was from Seamus Bohan. It came so quick that you couldn't see it as Nolan Maher takes the puck out. Loughmore 1-3, Borris-Ileigh 2 points. The ball is out over the line there. It's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh to be taken by Richard Stakelin. Borris-Ileigh backline very unsure. They're pulling very wildly as that ball went in and it broke to Seamus Bohan and he sent it into the net as Richard Stakelin takes this line ball in towards the Loughmore goals. Blocked there, Aidan Ryan. He's 30. He's not going through. He takes a shot and it's over the bar. A point there for Aidan Ryan. That's a good reply there from Borris-Ileigh. Aidan Ryan getting the ball 21 yards out, drawing his man and sending the ball over the bar from an acute angle. Now we might have a bit of life in this game. Loughmore 1-3, Borris-Ileigh 3 points. Frankie McGrath with the puck out, straight down the centre. Richard Stakelin blocks it down. Richard goes back for it. He lets it in. It comes in there to Aidan Ryan and Jim Maher. Ball is out by Pat McGrath. Comes out to Ned Ryan, out in the centre of the field. Richard Stakelin, Eamon Sweeney, Philip Kenny. John McGrath has the ball. John McGrath there is fouled by Eamon Sweeney and there's a free into Borris-Ileigh. Richard Stakelin hits the ball over there to the referee as Noel the Wire walks out to take this one. Virtually the last puck of the first half. Noel the Wires, 50 yards out. Sends it high, but it goes to the left and wide. Noel and Pat McGrath, maybe there's too much pressure on him. As the referee blows for half time, the score Borris-Ileigh 1 goal and 3 points. Or Loughmore 1 goal and 3 points, Borris-Ileigh 3 points. There are the teams going in for half time. Not what you call a particularly good first half. Scores were only 1 point each after 15 or 16 minutes then. Just about 3 minutes ago, Loughmore got a great goal. And that has put them 1 goal and 3 points ahead to 3 points at half time.
At half-time, quench that thirst with a glass of Tipperary spring water.
And here now is the Sean Tracy pipe band playing a couple of tunes at half-time. I have here Danny Morrissey, former Tip under 21 and senior selector. Danny, things are not going too well for Borris-Ileigh, sure they're not, in the first half.
No.
They seem to be playing well for a while there.
Well, mind you, I've been disappointed with the game in general, and I've certainly been disappointed with Borris-Ileigh. I think they've had a very tentative first half. They're not coming to the ball confidently like we know Borris can do. I also think, of course, that conditions have a lot to do with it, in that it's very hard to turn on the surface. It's more of a backman's game. And I think, consequently, a very low-scoring game. There are only, 3 points for Borris and 1-3 for Loughmore. So the highlights of the first half, as far as I've been concerned, have been Tom McGrath's point there from about 70 metres out. Yeah, 60 metres out maybe. Yeah. And we'll say Seamus Bowen's goal. I thought they were brilliant.
But did you not think there in the first half, for about 20 minutes of the first half, that Borris-Ileigh had dominated at centre field and the half-back line?
I definitely think they had, and Richard Statham played very well at right half-back. There were plenty ball for the forward line, but as I say, I think it's very difficult to play up front today because it's very difficult to turn on the sod.
Would you say, does Aidan Ryan look to be out of position somewhere inside in the corner?
Well, I thought it was a masterstroke by Borris to play him at full forward in the semi-final, in that he caused Cashel endless problems at full. Now, he's playing at corner, and he seems to me to be well fed all right, but finds himself in the corner every time he gets the ball. I think he'd be far more effective at full.
Timmy Ryan at centre field, Timmy is having a very good game, isn't he?
Playing very well. Himself and Tom, I think, Tom McGrath having a very good duel at midfield. I think midfield will be very important before the game is over.
And Jim Maher there. Jim Maher is probably the soundest of the Loughmore backline, isn't he?
Well, I think conditions are ideal for Jim. Jim is a very big, strong, burly man, a very strong player, and I think he'll improve in the second half.
What do you think, is there hope for Borris-Ileigh yet?
Well, I've been watching Loughmore now closely, and I've seen them in their county quarter-final. I've seen them in the semi-final. And I think if I were a betting man, I think I'd be betting on Loughmore now, because they're a brilliant second-half team. But knowing Borris, of course, I mean, Borris have been through it all before, in 83 and 86. I think maybe they're not done yet. Yeah. In fact, it's a kind of game, I think, that could give us an excellent finish.
But I think you could have a very good second half.
I think you'll have a very exciting finish, just like the minor match. The minor match, I thought, was terrible in the first half. Ross Gray were all over Cashel, and then you had a brilliant climax to the game.
Well, I suppose in latter county finals, the scores, well, remembering back to the match between Borris-Ileigh and Kilruane there a couple of years ago, it was a low-scoring game again, 14 points to 7.
Well, look, in these conditions, I always say the chances of a draw are maximised. And it's quite conceivable that you could have a draw before this game is over.
What do you think Borris-Ileigh will have to do now in the second half to
Well, I think the one thing that Borris is missing is the kind of crisp, sharp, confident hurling that we know of. Now, the only one I've seen, I think, is left cornerback Mick Ryan. I think he's very sharp again. He's a great man to come in front and clip the ball first time. I think Jerry Stapleton hasn't been in the game yet. And Jerry, I think, will have to lift his game 100%, I think, if Borris is going to win it.
Dan, thanks very much, Dan.
OK, thanks, John.
Thanks very much. Coming out again for the second half. We have Timmy Stapleton, Michael Ryan, Aidan Ryan, Timmy Ryan, John McGrath, Conor Stakelum. They all seem to be back out again, playing. Same players are playing again. Great round of applause there for the Sean Tracy pipe band from McCarthy. Now, just 1/2 hour between Loughmore or Borris-Ileigh for county final of 1988. Referee there out in the field. Huge attendance in the first half. Have only got a couple of incidents to shout about as the ball is thrown in. John McGrath gets it along the ground. Jim Maher has the ball. Chased by John McGrath. He gets the ball into the corner where Michael Ryan comes out for it. Michael lets it go first time up along this side of the field. Chased there by Flowery Ryan and the ball goes out over the line off Timmy Ryan, and it's the line ball. This to be taken by Pat McGrath. Pat waiting patiently there, placing the ball for this puck. A goal between the teams, 3 points. Pat McGrath sends it over to the far side. Out there goes John McCormick. Chased by John McGrath, he loses the ball. John McCormick goes back for it. Sends it left-handed in towards Borris-Ileigh corner. Up there goes Richard Stakelum. But caught by Richard. Ball comes out there out to Timmy Ryan, Tom McGrath. Ball comes out to Conor Stakelum. Eamon Sweeney, Conor Stakelum there. The ball goes into Seamus Devaney. Seamus with Aidan Ryan now gone in. Full forward, Seamus Devaney is coming through. 30 yards out, sends it high and sends it over the bar. And there's the first score of the second half by Seamus Devaney. An incident there up in the corner. Pat McCormick seems to be on the ground. I don't know what happened there, and all the wire telling Peter Brennan that he got hit as well. The referee calls over and all the wire, taking his name. The first name to go into the referee's book, Willie Barrett's book. And Noel will be a great loss at this stage for Borris-Ileigh. I hope Pat McCormick there is all right. He's on the ground there, all the Loughmore team officials around him, looking very anxiously there. He comes back, I think he's okay. Jim Maher there getting attention as well. First real incident of the match. But he's okay, he's back again. And fighting fit, as they say. Frankie McGrath to take the puck out. John McGrath and Ned Ryan, but the ball comes to Bobby Ryan. Ned Ryan gets it in along the ground. Bobby Ryan hits it first time. It comes to Tom McGrath. Philip Kenny and gets it over to the far side. It goes to Seamus Devaney and Eamon Brennan. Seamus has the better of him again. 50 yards out. Seamus sends it in low. It goes to Aidan Ryan. Conor Stakelum has the ball. Conor going through is chased. He's only 13 yards out. Sends it across the goals. It goes to Noel the wire. Noel 21 yards out. Sends it high. And sends it over the bar. And there's another score for Borris-Ileigh. Another score there is second from Noel the wire. Seamus Devaney out, right corner forward, playing well since he went out there on Eamon Brennan with Aidan Ryan in full forward. And just as we were saying at half-time, it could be the thing to lift Borris-Ileigh. Ball pulled on there by John McCormick into the corner. Seamus Bohan gets along the ground, but Richard Stakelum is over there, kicks the ball out over the line. And it's a line ball. It's one to be taken by Tom McGrath. Tom 20 yards out. As the linesman tells him where to take it from, he takes it back a couple of yards. Tom right-handed sends the ball across the Borris-Ileigh goals, but it goes to the left and wide. Very ambitious angle to be taking the line ball from, or to be trying to get a score from. Noel Maher with the puck out. Philip Kenny goes up. Ball breaks to Conor Stakelum. Conor, 30 yards out. The ball goes in low into Aidan Ryan, followed by Peter Brennan. The ball comes out to Ned Ryan. Ned, first time, sends it into the corner. Out comes Michael Ryan here and Michael McGrath. The ball is sent out to Liam McGrath. Liam goes in towards the centre, hits a high one in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Seamus Bohan is there. The ball goes out over the line and wide. Well shepherded out there by Brian Kenny. Nolly Maher with the puck out for Borris-Ileigh. 1-3 to 5 points. Ball pulled on there. It goes in past Pat McGrath. Aidan Ryan. Aidan 40, 50 yards out. He seemed to be hit across the face there, but he still gets his puck in. It goes in towards the goals, yes, and it's over the bar there. And there's antics inside as Frankie McGrath gets excited there and Seamus Devaney. But the important thing is that the ball has gone over the bar. Referee having a chat with the goalie, and there's the second name in the book. Frankie McGrath's name goes into the book. Six minutes gone in the second half. Borris-Ileigh 6 points. Loughmore 6 points. Borris-Ileigh bringing him down slowly but surely. Frankie McGrath with the puck out. Blocked there half by Timmy Ryan. Jerry Stapleton goes back for the ball. Jerry left-handed sends it high over to this side of the field. Pulled on there by Philip Kenny. John McGrath has the ball. It goes to Philip Kenny again. He lets it go along the ground. Conor Stakelum has it. 40 yards out. Sends it into Flowery Ryan. Flowery seemed to be fouled there, yes. Challenge there by Peter Brennan. A high tackle on Flowery Ryan as Noel Dwyer comes out to take this one. Noel about 50 yards out. Sends it low one in towards the Loughmore goals, blocked out there by Peter Brennan. Chased by Aidan Ryan. Aidan Ryan blocks him down. Ball comes out to Pat McGrath. Ball down this side of the field. Pulled on there, but the ball goes out over Bobby Ryan's hand. Chased by Liam McCormick and out of his hand, and it's a line ball to Loughmore. Is to be taken by Pat McGrath. It's 3 yards short of the halfway line. Ball all along the ground. Jerry Stapleton has it. Jerry goes back, sends it high in towards the centre. Jim Maher, ball comes to Conor Stakelum. And there's a free in for Borris-Ileigh. Peter Brennan was holding Aidan Ryan. It looked very obvious there. Borris-Ileigh have changed their free taker, Conor Stakelum, on the under-21 team this year for Tipperary. Was captain of the team. Prepares to take this one. On about the same distance as the last one that Noel Dwyer got. Conor sends it high and sends it over the bar, and Borris-Ileigh going to the lead. Borris-Ileigh 7 points, Loughmore 1-3. Borris-Ileigh are hurling very well here in the second half. John Cormick has the ball. He sends it out to the side of the field to Ned Ryan. They're playing with it there too much, Loughmore. Pat Tracy gets the ball. He sends it into the corner in there. Where John McCormick goes for it. Bobby Ryan has it. Jerry Stapleton in there to Michael McGrath. Sends it out to Liam Cormick. He sends it low and sends it wide. Loughmore very uneasy there here in the second half. Missed chance there, a good opportunity for him to get a score. They didn't avail of it as Noel Maher takes the puck out. Pulled on there by John McGrath. Pat McGrath. Flowery Ryan. The ball comes to Philip Kenny. The ball breaking now for Borris-Ileigh as Philip Kenny takes on Jim Maher. Philip still going through. The referee said he Went with the ball too far. Pat McGrath takes the spree. Sends it back into where Jerry Stapleton goes for it. Jerry blocks it down. John Tracy goes into number 10, Liam McCormick. Liam gets it along the ground. A great shot from Liam, but it goes to the left and wide. Great shot there on the ground from Liam McCormick for Loughmore, but the ball went to the left and wide. Lot of loose play there that time. Nolly Maher takes the puck out. 7 points to 1-3. Borris-Ileigh in the lead. Timmy Ryan blocks down the ball. He gets it up along as Eamon Sweeney pucks it. The ball comes to Timmy Ryan. Timmy gets it first time over to this side of the field. Pat McGrath goes for it, chased by Flowery Ryan. Pat hits it in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Out comes Brian Kenny. Ball goes through him. Timmy Stapleton and John Tracy. Jerry Stapleton is back there. And Richard Stakelin chased by a couple of Loughmore men. Ball comes to Brian Kenny. He's hooked there. Ball goes into the Borris-Ileigh goals. Jerry Stapleton has it. Jerry is sure as ever. Sends the ball out. Comes to Jim Maher. Great catch by Jim. Foul there by John McGrath. And there's a free in. Free in to Loughmore. This one to be taken by Tom McGrath. .66 yards out. Aidan Ryan has come out centre forward and Philip Kenny gone in full forward as Tom McGrath sends this one low in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Nolly Maher takes it chest high and sends it back out. Timmy Ryan and Tom McGrath goes for it. Ball comes there, but Timmy Ryan pulled late on Tom McGrath. There's a free in. Free to Loughmore over there on the far side. About 30 yards, 40 yards out from the Borris-Ileigh goals. And who will they take this one? Ball there on its own as Pat McGrath seems to be walking over with his brother injured there, 50 yards out. The referee blows his whistle to get some of the mentors off the field as Pat McGrath takes this one. Sends it high and sends it over the bar, and there's score for Loughmore, 1-4 for Loughmore. 7 points for Borris-Ileigh, a draw match again. 12 minutes gone. Nolly Maher with the puck out to this side of the field. Great catch there by John McGrath. Blocked there by Pat McGrath. Flowery Ryan gets just there. The ball goes into Noel the Wire. Pulled on there to Aidan Ryan. Aidan Ryan is about 40 yards out. He's still going through. Chased by Jim Maher. He gets it up. Aidan sends it in towards the Peter Brennan. Peter is there. He's fouled by Seamus Devaney, and there's a free out to Loughmore to be taken by Frankie McGrath. Pat McGrath with his puck down the centre. John Cormack and Jerry McGrath. Jerry Cormack. Ball comes out. Timmy Ryan hits it out to the side of the field. Aidan Ryan is chased by Tom McGrath. Aidan gets it. Chased there by Ned Ryan. He's still going up along the side. Aidan lets it go first time. Pat McGrath. Jim Maher has it. Ball comes down to this side of the field, but it goes out over the line. Michael Cohen there is Borris-Ileigh selector. Sends the ball into Bobby Ryan. Bobby sends a good cut in. Blocked there by Pat McGrath. He's going on a solo and Timmy Ryan comes to meet him. But Pat McGrath is still going. He sends the ball in towards the corner here where Michael Ryan is holding there. He's holding Pat Tracy, and there's a free in. Free in to Loughmore. Not a very good idea to be holding when the referee is just in front of you as Pat McGrath comes up to take this one. Successful with the last free that he took from about 35 yards out. This one is just over 40 yards out. Straight, little to the right of the goal on our right here. Steadies himself. Sends it high and sends it over the bar, and there's the lead for Loughmore again. 1-5 for Loughmore. 7 points for Borris-Ileigh. We're just on a half Halfway through the second half, Nolly Maher with the puck out, over to the far side of the field. Borris-Ileigh would need to get a goal at this stage. Eamon Sweeney, Seamus Devaney, Conor Stakelum is there. Ball up along the far side. And there we have a greyhound in the field. Underho let him in. Richard Stakelum gets a good cut in. John McGrath blocks it down. John, 35 yards out, sends it in. Blocked there by Frankie McGrath. Frankie is blocked down by Noel DeVire. Ball goes out for a 65. This one to be taken by, I think, Jerry Stapleton. Or is it Richard Stakelum? Yes, Richard is taking control of this one. Sends it high in towards the Loughmore goals. Comes down there. Eamon Brennan comes out with it. Chased there by Conor Stakelum. Eamon is stopped there by Timmy Ryan. Number 13, Michael McGrath gets the ball up towards the Borris-Ileigh half. Out comes Pat Tracy and Michael Ryan. Pat Tracy gets the ball. 50 yards out. Blocked there by Michael Ryan. Ned Ryan has the ball. Blocked by John McGrath. John McGrath gets it along the ground. Pat McGrath and Flory Ryan go for it. The ball breaks to Jim Maher. Number 13, Michael McGrath is blocked there by Bobby Ryan. The ball goes into Conor Stakelum. Conor 40 yards out. Sends a low one in. Oh, he should have passed it there to... Conor should have passed it in there to Seamus Devaney. He was all on his own. Good chance there for a goal for Borris-Ileigh. Bobby Ryan broke. Great pass into Conor Stakelum. Frankie McGrath with the puck out. Down the centre. Tom McGrath and Timmy Ryan. A great catch by Timmy Ryan. He gets it over to this side where Pat Ryan goes for it. Aidan Ryan is coming into the ball. Aidan, Borris-Ileigh moving well now. Aidan, 50 yards out, sends it high in towards the Loughmore goals, but it goes harmlessly wide. No one in there at all. Borris-Ileigh losing an awful lot of chances. Frankie McGrath again to take the puck out. A lot of wides there for Borris-Ileigh. Frankie McGrath with the puck out. Ball breaks to Pat Ryan. Gets along the ground to his brother Bobby. Philip Kenny has the ball back out on the halfway line. Aidan Ryan gets it over to the far side where Seamus Devaney, and Seamus Devaney goes for it. Seamus 35 yards out, but the ball again goes harmlessly wide. Another wide for Borris-Ileigh. There's 3 in about 2 minutes. Four wides Borris-Ileigh have in the second half and 6 in the first half. That's 10 wides. Jerry Stapleton blocks it down. Comes to John McGrath. Pat McGrath. And Pat Tracy having the better of Michael Ryan, but Michael comes up along the line. Pulled on there by Flory Ryan. Jim Maher, ball comes over to Timmy Ryan. Timmy sends it over to Aidan Ryan. Aidan Ryan chased by Jim Maher. Tom McGrath has the ball. Tom sends it left-handed over to the far side. Jerry Stapleton going back for it. Brian Kenny comes out of the ball. Brian Kenny seemed to be fouled there. And it's a free to Borris-Ileigh to be taken by Richard Stakelum. Borris-Ileigh want to liven up this match a little now for their own advantage. Richard, a long one over to the far side between Peter Brennan and Seamus Devaney. Peter gets it out to Tom McGrath, chased by Timmy Ryan. Tom gets along the ground, but Conor Stakelum beats him. It goes to Aidan Sweeney. Tom McGrath goes back for it again. Chased by Seamus Devaney. He gets it up to where Richard Stakelum. Well caught there by Richard. Left-handed, he sends it over to this side. Tim Flory Ryan and Pat McGrath. Ball comes to John McGrath. John seemed to be fouled there. Ball comes to Bobby Ryan. Bobby chased by Pat McGrath. He gets it on to Aidan Ryan. Borris-Ileigh holding on to the ball a little too long. Ball comes to Philip Kenny. Pulled on there by Pat Cormack. Aidan Ryan has it. Pulled on by Timmy Ryan. Over Tom McGrath heads it over to this side. John McGrath. John McCormack back in his own half. Pat Tracy has the ball. John McGrath has it. A lot of missing. Ball comes to Flowery Ryan. Blocked down there by Pat McGrath. Flowery Ryan again. Pat Ryan chasing Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath gets his puck in. Here comes to Jerry Stapleton. Well caught there by Jerry. Left-handed, he sends it back up the side of the field again. Breaks to Pat Ryan. Timmy Ryan there playing a tremendous game out there at centre field. Timmy going the solo run, chased by Eamon Brennan. Ball goes out to Aidan Ryan. Aidan puts it out into the centre. Ball comes to Richard Stakelum. Richard on a run up the centre. Chased by Eamon Brennan. Richard gets it low in towards Philip Kenny. Philip 35 yards out. Ball goes into Peter Brennan. Pat McCormick comes out with it. Low along the ground. It comes to Ned Ryan. It comes to Michael McGrath. He's fouled there by Pat Ryan, and there's a free for Loughmore. This is real bread and butter hurling. Pat McGrath with this free. 8 points to 7. 1 goal and 5 points for Loughmore. 7 points for Borris-Ileigh. There's a lot of weary legs out there as Jim Maher is doing a few press-ups as Pat McGrath takes this free. He sends it low. It comes out. Richard Stakelum goes for it. Michael McGrath is going 35 yards out. He sends it in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. And it's high and over the bar. And there's another score for Loughmore as they go 2 points ahead. 21 minutes gone in the second half. 9 minutes left in this county final of 1988. Loughmore 2 points ahead. 1-6 to 7 points. Nolly Maher with the puck out. Bobby Ryan misses the ball. He sends it in towards the Jim Maher and Philip Kenny. Jim Maher gets it. Left-handed, he sends it out to the far side of the field. Michael McCormick, or Michael McGrath. Chased there by Richard Stakelum. Aidan Ryan is there. Seamus Bohan gets it out to John Cormack. He sends it out to this side. Over to Liam Cormack. He's gone through, but the ball comes to Jerry Stapleton. Jerry over to John McGrath. Now a quick ball into the forward line. Ball comes to Noel Dwyer. Noel Dwyer chased by Pat Cormack. Chased by Seamus Devaney. He gets it out. Kicks it first time like a footballer would. Up goes Timmy Ryan. Timmy is chased there by John Cormack. It's a free to Borris-Ileigh. Foul there on Timmy Ryan. With about 8 minutes left. Noel Dwyer comes out to take this one. Borris-Ileigh haven't been too good from frees today. Noel 55 yards out. Sends it high in towards the Loughmore goals and it. Oh, lucky one there for Loughmore because it went off Frankie McGrath's hand and went over the bar. Just 1 point between them again. Loughmore 1-6, Borris-Ileigh 8 points. 7 minutes left between Loughmore or Borris-Ileigh for the county final here of 1988. Frankie McGrath with the puck out. Timmy Ryan, man of the match today as far as Borris-Ileigh would be concerned. To Conor Stakelum, 35 yards out. He cuts back in, he sends it high in towards the goals. Yes, and it's over the bar, and there's the draw again. Great pass there from Timmy Ryan to Conor Stakelum, and that was a lovely point there from Conor. Borris-Ileigh doing an awful lot better now by letting the ball go first time. Frankie McGrath with the puck out. Well covered back there by Richard Stakelum. Locked down. Ball is on the ground. Timmy Ryan out to Noel Dwyer. Jim Maher. Chased by Jim Maher. Noel has come out centre forward. Noel Dwyer lets it in towards the Loughmore goals. Pat McCormick and Philip Kenny. Philip Kenny has the ball. He seemed to be fouled there. Ball is hit out. Pat Ryan goes for it. Aidan Ryan, Conor Stakelum. Conor Stakelum gets it in towards the Seamus Devaney. Peter Brennan. The ball is hit out there, out to the centre, where John McGrath goes for it. Noel Dwyer has the ball. Chased by John Cormack. Noel gets it along the ground. Eamon Sweeney has it. Eamon is blocked there by Aidan Ryan. Aidan Ryan seemed to be fouled, but there's no free. Lee McCormick gets the ball along the ground. Sit-in, Michael Ryan has it. Michael catches it, pounds the ball out here to Bobby Ryan. Great hurling here. Pat Tracy has the ball. It comes to Ned Ryan. Ned Ryan hits it in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Out comes Nolan Maher. Nolan 14 yards out for his own goals. Sends it a long one. And the sides are level. Noel the wire pulls it. Brought down by Jim Maher. Hit out to this side of the field. Michael Ryan comes out for it. Ball comes out to Bobby Ryan. Not having a particularly good game, Bobby. Ball out to Jerry Stapleton on his own line. Ball into those Peter Brennan and Seamus Devaney. Peter Brennan goes back. He evades Seamus Devaney and brings out the ball. Seamus following him. Eamon Sweeney, captain of the Loughmore team. Brian Kenny gets the ball. Ball comes to Jerry Stapleton. Jerry chased by a couple of Loughmore lads. Ball comes to Richard Stakelum in towards the Loughmore goals. Seamus Devaney and Peter Brennan. Ball out there, Aidan Ryan and Peter Brennan go for the ball, but Eamon Sweeney has it. Chased by Conor Stakelum. The ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh. 4 minutes left and there's a line ball. It's to be taken by Richard Stakelum. Very tense these last couple of minutes. 4 minutes left in the game. The sides are level. Richard Stakelum with his line ball over on the far side of the field. He hits it in. Ball is out over the line. Not a very good cut from Richard. Score 1-6 to 9 points. 1-6 for Loughmore, 9 points to Borris-Ileigh. Frankie McGrath with the puck out. Blocked there by Timmy Ryan. The ball goes to John McGrath. John McGrath chased by Ned Ryan. Ball comes to out here to where Bobby Ryan. Ned Ryan goes for it. Hits it along the ground. Blocked there by John McGrath. Ned Ryan gets it again. Michael Ryan going back for it. John Tracy. Michael Ryan gets it. He loses his hurley. Timmy Stapleton brings it out. Timmy lets it left-handed. It goes to Ned Ryan. Ned Ryan sends it in to number 13, Michael McGrath. He sends it 50 yards out. He sends it to the left and wide. Minutes remaining. 3 minutes left in the game. Nolan Maher with the puck out. Far side of the field. Conor Stakelum goes up for it with Eamon Sweeney. The ball goes to Aidan Ryan. Aidan about 40 yards out. He's still going through. Blocked there by Peter Brennan. Aidan has it again. Sends it in towards the Loughmore goals. Blocked down there to Noel the wire. 40 yards out. Sends it high. It goes to the right and goes wide. Good chance there for Noel the wire with about 2 minutes left in the game. The next score could seal victory for whoever gets it. As Francis McGrath takes the puck out. I don't think it would be fair to any team to lose this match. Ball cut there by Richard Stakelum. Richard coming near the halfway line. Chased there by Seamus Bohan. Keeps after him. Richard Stakelum with it again. Sends it over to the far side where Peter Brennan and Seamus Devaney go for it. Aidan Ryan has the ball. Chased faced there by Eamon Brennan. Sends it high, but it goes to the right and goes wide. Good chance there from Aidan Ryan. And this is all the signs of a draw game. That's Borris-Ileigh 13 wide as Tom Larkin comes into the game for Loughmore. Just a minute or a minute and a half left in the game. As John Tracy is leaving the field there for Loughmore. And the puck out from Frankie McGrath. With just a minute left. Ball comes to Timmy Ryan. Goes through Timmy Ryan to Richard Stakelum. Left-handed. Richard sends it along to Philip Kenny. Ball is on the ground. John McGrath. Bobby Ryan. Comes to Ned Ryan. Chased by John McGrath. The ball goes along the ground. Out to Tom Larkin. Will he get the winning score? He lets it go into Pat Tracy. A low one is blocked there to Bobby Ryan. Bobby sends it up towards the Loughmore half. Eamon Brennan and Philip Kenny. Eamon Brennan blocks the ball. He's coming out at it. Ball comes to Conor Stakelum. Referee blows, and there's full time. Referee blows the whistle for full time with the score. Loughmore 1-6, Borris-Ileigh 9 points. Very exciting second half, it must be said, a lot brighter than the first half. Borris-Ileigh putting it over a lot more wides in the second half. I think, I count them up here now, I think they had 7 wides in the second half and 6 in the first. In comparison to Loughmore, had 4 wides in the first half and 3 in the second. A very exciting second half there. Borris-Ileigh came in the first minute of the second half. The score at half time was 1-3 for Loughmore, 3 points for Borris-Ileigh. In the first minute of the second half, Seamus Devaney got a point for Borris-Ileigh. In the third minute, Noel Dwyer had a point for Borris-Ileigh. 6th minute, Aidan Ryan had another point for Borris-Ileigh. The 8th minute, Conor Stakelum had a point. Pat McGrath then had a point for Loughmore. And then Pat McGrath, number 5 on his back, had another point for Loughmore. And then in the 23rd minute, Noel Dwyer had a point for Borris-Ileigh. And the 24th minute, Conor Stakelum had another point. And then the 25th minute, the last score was a point by Martin McGrath, a point for Loughmore. And there you can say that both sides were lucky, I suppose. Loughmore were probably luckier than Borris-Ileigh to have got a draw here because they sent some ridiculous wides in the second half. Now we'll leave you from the top of the stand here and go down for some talk down underneath. I see here with me Danny, who was commentating on the match himself. We had you at half time, Danny. Well, what did you think? Our prediction about Aidan Ryan was right, that he'd go full forward.
Definitely. We considered that he'd move to full forward. But I think the counter move was equally as good by Loughmore. I think they moved Peter Brennan to left corner on Devaney, and they moved Eamon Brennan to full. And I think it was a very important move from a Loughmore point of view. The match, I thought that Borris obviously will feel that they have thrown it away on missed chances. They had, I didn't count how many chances they had, but they had numerous chances.
They had several wides, I think.
They had several wides in the second half. But I'd say as well that Loughmore never let them settle on their strokes. Aidan Ryan went through there once and he was blocked down brilliantly, I thought, by Peter Brennan. The resultant ball went to Noel O'Dwyer and he was blocked down brilliantly again, I thought. So I think all in all, a fitting result to a very close contest.
Would you think can Loughmore improve from this?
I don't know. I'll tell you, conditions I thought had a very important bearing on the game. We said at half-time that it was the kind of game that could end up in a draw. And I think the longer this championship goes on, the more difficult it'll be to win it, because these kind of conditions give rise to very close contests, and that's exactly what we had again today.
Would Borris-Ileigh's tactics want to change for the next day?
I don't know. I think their half-back line certainly improved considerably in the second half. Jerry improved tremendously, I thought. Midfield, I thought about broke even. I'd say the tactics, I'd say it's back to getting the old goalposts out and having their shots at goal. I think the shooting boots, I think that's the important thing.
Timmy Ryan, again, I thought he played tremendous in the second.
I've always been a great admirer of Timmy Ryan. Timmy Ryan is my kind of midfielder. He's the kind of man who loves to play it in the air. He's a tremendously fair player. Plays on the ground first time, loves to pull in the air. I think he had a very important contribution to make in that game today too.
What do you think of the next day? Very hard to say, isn't it?
I find it very hard to separate these two teams. Loughmore stayed the course very well. I think though that maybe if I have a leaning, I think I have a leaning towards Borris. I think with their long tradition, their fighting spirit, I think with their 86 campaign, which went on for a long time, I'd say the longer it goes on, the harder Borris will be to beat.
Thanks very much, Dan.
Thank you very much, John.
Not this man. He's going, man.
Jackie, trainer and selector of Loughmore, Are you happy or are you disappointed?
I'm not disappointed, John. No, I'm very happy. I'm happy with the result, actually, the way it finished up in the end, you know. I was a bit disappointed, all right, after the final whistle, but, I mean, when you come and think about it, you'd have to be happy. Drawn with Borris-Ileigh in the county final, you know.
But it was a hard day enough to hurl, wasn't it? The greasy ball.
It was terrible out there. In the first half in particular, you know, players were stuck to the ground. They look as if, you know, they couldn't do anything right, you know. But the second half, Jesus, really livened up in the second half there.
You got a good goal there in the first half. I say you needed it at the time because you were behind a little.
That's right.
Not maybe on scores, but on the run of play you weren't playing well.
That's right. We were behind on performance at that stage, all right. And I remember it was a long ball down the middle, I think, and it broke off one of the backs, and Seamus Bowen just let fly and into the net. It was a good goal from our point of view, you know.
Yeah. Borris-Ileigh then in the second half, they started well, didn't they? Were you a bit worried?
Oh yeah, I was. I mean, at that stage they looked all over us in the first quarter of an hour there. I mean, they got 4 points without reply, I think. You know, I mean, the writing was on the wall at that stage.
Would you say they overplayed the ball a little?
Who now?
Borris-Ileigh, when they did get the chances. They got a lot of chances.
Yeah, I thought Aidan did now overplay the ball a lot today. I mean, he usually carries the ball anyway, but I thought today he overplayed it a little. I mean, he had possession and he ran a long way with it and he lost it. He lost a lot of ball that way, actually, today.
You must have been very encouraged, though, at your lads today, were you?
I was absolutely thrilled, John, with him now. As I said I think I said to you or someone else, the way we had played in the first half up to now, you know, up to the county final, if we had played like we played the last couple of matches in the first half, we had to get stuck in today and play well, you know.
Pat Tracy actually was a big improvement on recent games, wasn't he?
He was actually, yeah, he was. He's a great old striker. Pat had an injury there and he's not 100% fit now either, but we have a chance now to get him fit, you know.
Did you take note of Seamus Devaney playing full forward in the first half?
I did, actually, yeah. Well, we were thinking about it all week what we were going to do. We decided we'd leave it as it was. Actually, Seamus Devaney, when he came out in the corner in the second half, he created havoc.
He did, yeah.
Created havoc for the first 10 minutes there.
There was actually one ball that Noel the Wire, or no, Richard Stakelin passed into Conor Stakelin, and if he had to open his eyes,
that's
you know.
Right, that's right.
I suppose there was chances like that on both sides.
Lost, yeah, as I said to you there before, I mean, I was right behind Aidan Ryan and Noel the Wire for the two last shots they had. Borris-Ileigh had. I mean, the ball only went inches wide, you know. Noel's shot was actually in and it turned out, you know. I closed my eyes actually when he hit.
The free taking was very, very bad today, wasn't it?
Of course, the ball was very greasy and heavy, you know, and I suppose that added to it, you know.
Do you expect your lads to improve for the next day?
Well, I do, but you know, if we play as well again the next day, I think that'll do. You know, we had a few individuals now didn't perform as good as they can, and hopefully the next day, like the whole team will do it. You know.
John, thanks very much,
okay, John. Thank you.
This is PRO, the Tipperary County Board. Very exciting game, wasn't it? The second half, more especially.
I think it was a very exciting rather than a good game. I have to say I was a bit disappointed in the overall standard, but then one must take into account the weather. The pitch was extremely heavy. I walked across it before the game and the ball, I imagine, was just sitting there. I think it was possibly the best result.
Would you think have Borris-Ileigh lost their chance? Because they had a number of chances in the second half.
How could I say that about Bobby and his players? I don't think Borris-Ileigh have ever lost their chance. Today I think they played way below par, I have to say. You know, we went a long time without a score. Now it was a close game and they obviously know one another very well, and it was a day for backs rather than forwards, and the kind of weather dictated that as well. But no, I think the game is wide open still. But a lot of Borris-Ileigh players I felt played below par on the day.
Loughmore can gain great encouragement for their display today, can't they?
Well, I've always admired them as well as Borris-Ileigh. They play a very honest type of game, and they were here last year, I suppose, and a bit unlucky to lose. They will have gained some bit of confidence, but I think Borris-Ileigh will probably go home saying we can do better.
Yes. And thanks very much. Dave.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. With me, Paddy, cameraman, loyal supporter of Borris-Ileigh. Paddy, what did you think of the game as a contest?
Well, I thought of it was that Borris-Ileigh outside and forwards went out too far when the scores was coming in. They drove 3 wides there. The goalie blocked down 2 balls there even. And I thought that they should have more common sense and then move back out. They had to switch Philip Kenny with Conor Stakelin. That's what I thought now.
Would you?
Yeah, but I say that they'll improve after today.
Jackie Welch there a few minutes ago was saying that Aidan Ryan's and all the Wire's shots in the last few minutes were only inches wide. Were you anywhere near?
I was getting ready for the presentation. And I thought I'd be taking the cup to Borris-Ileigh. I was going off to get the microphone ready.
Do you think they'll get there the next day?
Yes.
What do you think of Loughmore's performance?
Loughmore can't improve, I say. I said they're improving, and there's a go-to man that scored, that put him on the road to victory there when they were going. He scored a great goal there in the first half hour. Seamus Bohan.
Pat Tracy played well for them as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Pat Tracy. And Richie Stakem had a terrific, I thought all round now. Someone said no, but he had a terrific game.
Jim Maher as well for Loughmore at centre-back. Would have been their best player as well, I think.
But our centre forward there, Muftart, but Timmy Ryan had an outstanding game centre of the field. Yeah. He was there in every place and hit the ball. See, all lads muffed it. They went to raise the ball when they should be hitting it. Would you agree with that now?
I would. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Thanks very much.
Two of the players today, Timmy Ryan for Borris-Ileigh and Jim Maher for Loughmore. Timmy, you very nearly done it, and so did Loughmore.
Yeah, I said before the match to you, John, that we were finding it very hard to analyse Loughmore. Funny enough, I certainly know an awful lot more about them now. And like in every draw, John, it was certainly one of those matches that while we were in bigger trouble earlier on and should have taken it for a finish, we were damn glad to be still there.
Do you think, Jim, that you could have lost your chance?
Yeah, I was afraid it was going to be like last year and be at the finish. We were lucky enough. I suppose it's a game we could have won. We missed a few chances and maybe a few frees and at the finish. But I was afraid Nolan Dwyer was very near with a pint at the finish. But it was a hard day for hurling. Ground conditions. I'd be hoping for a drier day.
You must have been delighted with your performance.
Up and down. The stages I was completely out of it and just come back. But we'll all go through it again and have another crack at it.
Timmy, I'd say you were very pleased with the game you played.
I had John McGrath with me in the middle today, and for a long time back I reckon that John is an ideal midfield type player because he does his best work out from the goals. He's a big, strong, sort of 6'2", 6'3" player, and he needs the room, and he can certainly take advantage of it. He's an awful lot of height. He's a lot of power as he goes for a high ball.
Jim,
that certainly, and the conditions there, of course, his strength certainly helped a lot as well.
Jim, they came at you hard in the second half, didn't they? The first 5 minutes of the second half.
They hit us with everything, yeah. And I thought it was just pure there for stick with our men and stay with them. We were afraid. We knew what Borris were capable of. They got the chances, and we had to tie them up as much as we could. But hopefully the next day, I don't know, it'll be another battle again for 60 minutes.
It'll be a 50-50 one, would you agree?
It should be at this stage, yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't say any more than that. We're very happy with the conditions and everything else to come out of there with the draw today. I had an awful lot of respect for that more, but as I say, I just wasn't sure what they were like. I know it now.
Dan, thanks very much, lads.
Right, thank you.
Morgan.
Where are you from, Morgan?
Children's Park.
Who did you think should have won the match?
Borris-Ileigh.
Did you? Where are you from? What's your name?
Christina Wade.
Where are you from?
43 Children's Park.
Did you enjoy the match?
Yes.
Who did you think was the best on the field?
I don't know.
Who was the best team?
Borris-Ileigh.
Anyone from Loughmore here?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Kieran Webster.
Where are you from, Kieran?
Loughmore.
Which of the Websters are you? Who's daddy?
Eddie Webster.
Oh, Eddie, that played football for Loughmore, was it?
Yeah.
Were you delighted with the way the team played?
Yeah.
Are you going to win the next day?
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Michal Webster.
Another Webster?
Yeah.
We'll be webbing ourselves all day. Were you disappointed that you didn't win?
Bit.
Or delighted that you drew?
Bit delighted, both.
And what's your name?
John McGrath.
From?
Tinvover, Loughmore.
Who's daddy are you? Who's your daddy? What's his name?
Phil McGrath.
Oh, Phil McGrath. He wasn't playing today, no.
No.
Are you delighted with the way Loughmore played?
Sometime.
Will you win the next day?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Grand. There are some of the children from Loughmore and Thurles. Some kids here. I have a couple of my own here as well. Shane, how did you enjoy the match?
Fine.
Who was the best in the field?
Don't know.
Who?
Bobby.
Bobby Ryan, was he? Who did you see playing, Patrick?
Nicky.
Dickie who?
Nicky Siegler.
Who was the best in the field?
Bobby.
Bobby Ryan, was it? Okay. What's your name?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie what?
David.
From where?
Borris. I live in Wexford, but my daddy's from Borris.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
How did you think Borris played?
Okay.
Did they win the next day?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. Thanks very much. Dial and Michael Ryan. Paddy, a close one, wasn't it?
It was very close, John. Too close for comfort, I suppose. It's matches like that aren't good for the ticker.
A lot of them played under strength, didn't they?
Did they? Really? I don't know. Right, we didn't play as well, I suppose, in every quarter of the field. But I could name off, without even, right off the top of my head, I could name off 8 or 9 of the lads who were excellent, in my opinion. Timmy Ryan, I thought John McGrath also had a great game. Richard Stakelin was outstanding, the best game he had this year. Aidan tried like a trooper. Conor Stakelin, the best game he had. Michael here beside me. Nolly Marr didn't put a foot wrong. Timmy, Brian Kenny. I mean...
But do you think that you should have won the game? You know, I mean, was it there for the taking?
I suppose if one were to be 100% honest, you'd have to feel and say that it would have been unfair to either team to lose today. But having said that, without question, the 2 best chances at the very end came to us, and they were only a hair's breadth in the difference between winning and losing at the match. But then, having said that, I suppose you'd have to say that Mick McGrath had a good chance at the other end, and he drove a very bad wide. So overall, I suppose, in fairness to both teams, I think they deserve the second chance, both of them.
Michael, what sort of a view did you get of the goal that Loughmore scored the first half there?
I thought it was an unlucky goal in ways. It was a ball that was on the ground, and there was no hurleys at it at all. It was all feet nearly. It was hitting off one fella and another fella, and finally it broke in, and Bohan happened to be in the right place, and he just put it away, and that's what he's there for.
We seemed to be very much on top up to that stage in the match, didn't we?
At that particular stage, when they got the goal, we were definitely in command, but the scores were not coming. You know, I have my own personal reasons as to why. I prefer not to say it. But at the moment now, we'll sort that problem out. But the scores didn't seem to come for us, even though we had. I think that Loughmore were in a serious problem, had a serious problem at that particular stage, because if they made one switch, they must have made at least a dozen switches around. And you don't do that if you're feeling confident with the way the team is playing. And with that, they got a point from a free, which I considered was a bit unfair, that late tackle free. Also, the goal came almost immediately. And, you know, if that won't lift you, nothing will lift you. And they got the score at the right time, and yet within maybe 5 or 6 minutes of the second half, we were back on level terms again. You know,
they didn't. That was one thing I thought about them. They didn't take the advantage of their lead.
No, when they got their scores at the right time, just before half time, but instead of maybe coming out in the second half and trying to build on that lead, we were level within minutes. You know, and you know, I feel the lads. When the danger seemed to threaten, when it looked like, when they went 2 points up and it looked like things were really gone at that stage, it was then the lads took complete control again. And a lot more at that stage were, I'd say in a lot of ways, content to get the ball anywhere away from the goals, you know, if you can recall from the
Michael, the underfoot conditions, they must have been very hard out there for you to hurl.
They were the worst we played in this year, without a doubt. I never experienced that as deadening or as tiring as the ground, and I personally found it got very tired very quickly on it, and I'd be hoping that we'd have better ground conditions the next day, and maybe it would suit our team somewhat better.
The improvement of Timmy Ryan in the last couple of games he's been out of all proportions, hasn't he?
Timmy Ryan, John, as you know yourself, Timmy is putting an awful lot in training, like, and he's an absolute glaring example to the young fellas in the Borris-Ileigh club, what you can do at his age, you know, if you put in the effort, and he's a tremendous chap, that's what he is.
If you were their manager, would you be happy or disappointed tonight?
Loughmore?
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for Loughmore. I mean, they have their own thoughts on it, John, but I'm reasonably happy myself at the moment, anyway.
Thanks very much, lads.